Chad Smith, President CEO of Expert Credit Systems here. I want to make you a quick video and talk to you guys about a core feature of small to mid-sized businesses that I think isn't being utilized. And I think a big part of it is because the automation is so complicated and so hard for most of us to build and create. So what I'm talking about is automated workflows. These are workflows and automation for your sales systems, your follow-up systems, even your in-house processes for you and your employees to follow and have some standardized automation built into your company. Now, a lot of companies use systems like Infusionsoft, Salesforce, these really amazing softwares, but they're also insanely complicated. And both of those companies have consultants that charge you lots and lots and lots of money to build out these workflows because you can't figure it out. It's too complicated. There's too many layers. And not only that, but once you've paid for and built the campaign, how do you adjust them as your company grows, as you want to add more and more layers and more branding and different things to your different sequences and marketing funnels? How do you change it? It's hard. You have to either call them up or spend hours upon hours upon hours going through certification trainings and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you the workflow engine we created to solve all those problems for you. We lose none of the sophistication, none of the automation with our system, but it's so simple and easy to build a workflow and change a workflow in our system. I think you'll be blown away. So what I'm going to do first, guys, is I'm going to actually go to a web form on my website, submit a file, submit a lead to my software through an online web form, and let you guys see the automation in effect. Then I'm going to go change that workflow on the fly in a matter of seconds, add a couple of cool conditions, a couple of cool steps, and submit a new file so you can see how quick and easy you can automate and change a workflow on the fly, which should also show you how easy it is to build a really sophisticated automated workflow in our system. All right, here we go. Here's my online web form. I'm going to fill this out and save you guys the trouble of watching me type, so give me a sec. All right, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this file or this lead through my online web page. There we go. There's my confirmation. Now let's go take a look at the software and the automation. Okay, here's the record that populated into my system. I'm going to show you something really unique to our system by going to the integrated email area of the software and showing you that the form sent me an email, and my system automatically not only created the record, but it linked that creation email right to the record so I can see it anytime I want with one click. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my email system really quick. Here you go. Here's the email that came in. It's got the subject line lit up in red because that's a feature of the software. I said, hey, whenever a lead comes in from this web form, I want you to make it stand out for me. But you see all the information from my web form here, and you also see Johnny Bravo. It's linked to Johnny Bravo. So I can click on this, and it takes me right to his record. Now, the beauty of this is I can also see here that the workflow has been assigned, and the workflow that's been assigned is software contacting. That's the name of the workflow that he's been assigned to. So let's go take a look at that workflow. Go right here to where it's highlighted and click Go. This is going to show me just what steps have not been completed yet. What steps are upcoming for this current record. Now, what I've done is intentionally created a little delay for this video so that you could see the two steps that are going to happen right away when this thing triggers. Now, if I don't have that delay programmed into the system for this demo, these two emails would go out automatically, okay? So you see one of them is called We Are Expert Credit Systems, and the other is Credit Repair Business Software Training, or Intro, and it's meant to go out right away on 10/1. And it's going to come from me, Chad Smith. That's because I'm the agent in the round robin area of the system that was randomly selected for this lead. If you guys have multiple people in your company and you put them in a round robin, it'll select every lead that comes in. It'll randomly pick one of those people to assign the lead to. It automatically makes sure that the correspondence from the workflow comes from that agent if that's what you like. So let's go back to the contact record. I'm going to manually trigger this workflow. Again, I did that on purpose for demonstration purposes of this video. So I'm just going to hit this Trigger Now button. This is a manual way to make it happen right now. Okay, so now what it does is once it's triggered that, because I did it manually, it wouldn't do this when you do it through the auto phase, it's going to show me the two steps that just were completed, and it actually has check marks showing, hey, these two took place. They happened. Now I can show you it in my email box. Okay, here you go. Here's the two emails that went out. Obviously, I put my email address on there for the demo purposes. Here's the first email that went out from the software. And here's the second one that went out. And this is more personalized from the actual agent, wanting to schedule some time, okay, introducing ourselves, and letting them know we're going to be contacting you right away. Just kind of a nice automated first step to an entire automated follow-up sequence and marketing sequence. So now let's go look at the entire workflow inside the software so you can see how simple this is laid out. Okay, so I'm going to go right in here. I'm just going to go right to the workflow area. And here's my workflow. Now, the nice part about the way our workflows are laid out compared to these other systems is you don't have to open a bunch of steps or little areas to open up that part and then go layer after layer after layer into the system to see everything that's laid out. It's all laid out right here. Now, the beauty of this view like this, where I can see everything laid out, is I can quickly go view this email right here. I can just click on this little eyeball, pop it up, and go see it. So check it out. I want to see this email. I view it. Here it is. Here's the email. It shows me exactly what the content is in that step. Also, if I wanted to say, you know what, I'm going to change this email, but I don't want to stop my workflow from going out, I can just quickly pause a step and let the workflow continue running. And then when I unpause it, for anybody that hasn't gone past that step, I make it active. Going forward, people will start receiving that email again. Okay. Now, the other beauty of this system is if I wanted to insert a new step, which is what we're going to do right now, I'm going to insert a new step, a new little condition and feature right into the middle of this workflow. So you see on the left here, I've got my order of operations here. Well, if I want to insert something in the middle of my workflow, I just simply click a button. It spreads out these steps, and now I can add a quick step on the fly right here at the bottom and change the order and say, make this step number 3 because I created a gap. And look at what it did. It just inserted it between 1 and 6, right? That's how quickly and easily I can customize my workflow. And I can say, you know what? Let's send a text message. And let's pull up a list of my little text messages here. And I'm going to send out still interested. Okay? Now, also what I'm going to do, because one thing I noticed in my workflow is I want these leads to come in. I want them to already be tagged as a new lead. I want those tags to start working right away. So I'm going to tell my system, here's additional actions down here below for this step. I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? Go ahead and bring it into the system, right? And I want it to come in as a new lead. Automatically change the status of the contact record when it comes in. Tag it as a new lead. Okay, I just added that step, text message, and an action in a couple of seconds. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the web form, submit a new lead, and watch the difference. So here's Johnny Bravo. It came in. Okay, it sent 2 emails, but not a text message because that wasn't in there yet, and it didn't change the status automatically to new lead, which is important. You want to be able to search the system and go, where's all my new leads? So now we're going to do it all over again and see the change I made on the fly in a couple of seconds. So let's go back to my website. Let's submit a new form and watch this thing in action. Here's my form. I'll fill out a new one here. Okay, here we got April showers. We're going to submit that form. There's our confirmation. Let's go look at the software. I'll be able to see right here that the new lead came in. And when I'll do that, I'll just go up here and look at the most recent contact record in my system, the oldest lead. There it is, April showers. Now if I want to go look at that email to see again how it came into the system, I can do that. But I'm going to look at the workflow. Here's the workflow, automatically assigned again. Okay, we can go look at it. We can see what steps have yet to trigger again, because remember, I inserted this new step, the text message, okay? And I've got it on manual so that you guys can see I can do this for demonstration. But now look, it assigned George Wisniewski instead of Chad Smith to all of the steps except the autoresponder. That's because by default, I told the system I always want the credit tips to come from Chad. But the sales agent is George Wisniewski. So let's go trigger those actions. And I want to remind you that this would happen automatically. You wouldn't have to trigger these actions manually. I did this just for demonstration purposes. So here we go. We're triggering the workflow manually. And now you'll notice that the system automatically changed or tagged April showers as a new lead. Okay, if I go back and look at Johnny Bravo, who didn't have that step in the workflow, you'll notice it didn't do that. Also, if I were to go check my cell phone, if my cell phone number was in here, okay, I'll see a text message from Expert Credit Systems saying, hey, are you still interested in credit repair? Last thing I'll show you guys in this quick video is I want to go to the workflow again. I just want to show you the steps and exactly what this system is doing. So here's the workflow laid out. What it's doing is immediately when this lead comes in, it's sending an email from whoever the agent assigned is. That's why this is blank. It's going to auto-assign it. It's going to be the intro, we are Expert Credit Systems. It's then going to send, in this scenario, a text message asking them if they're still interested. Now, obviously, that doesn't make sense for this workflow or this phase of the workflow. This is probably be something way further down the road, but I wanted to show you guys for demonstration purposes how quick and easy I can add a step. Also, in this step, what I also did was say, don't just send a text message, but I want you to perform some other actions down here, which is set a different workflow, add them to a specific group, a bucket per se, inside my software, clear a workflow, clear a task, okay? I can also create conditions that say don't trigger this step. So for example, I'll go down to this one down at the bottom. Don't trigger this step unless it meets the conditions I have up top here, which would be only trigger on a work day. Don't trigger it on a Sunday, trigger it on a work day. Also, only trigger if the status is one of these statuses. If it changes to that status, that's the only time you'll actually trigger this step. So I can put conditions in place. Very, very simple layout here, so you guys can build really powerful workflows really, really quickly and automate your business in a matter of seconds and minutes and not spend tens of thousands of dollars having someone else build it. Then when you want to change it or add to it, you now got to go back to that same person, pay them a bunch of money to automate your business. I hope this helps. If you guys got questions on it, if you want to see it up close and live, please give me a call, 480-374-1266. Email us, go to our website, www.expertcreditsystems.com. We've got a lot of business resources for the credit repair industry as well as any other industry.